Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Politatine Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Ray Hennessy, and today we're joined again with Miles Moorfield. Today we're going to be talking about NAFTA. But before we talk about NAFTA, let's talk about our northern neighbor for 1 second and how they might become our 51st to 60th state of the United States.
Canada.
God bless. Recently, our great, endearing leader to be, Donald Trump, has made some remarks that perhaps the Canadian side of Niagara Falls and the Canadian maple syrup industries might be too nice to leave in Canadian hands, and as such, annexation might be the right solution. What are your thoughts on this, Miles?
Well, I just have to say, Bernie Sanders, the left, is actually getting behind this, guys. We've got Bernie Sanders agreeing that we should allow Canada to be the 51st state in our union if we adopt their healthcare policies, and then he lists a bunch of reasons why. But he's all for it, so I'm saying there's bipartisan support for this. This is a bipartisan movement, Canada 51, baby, Canada 51.
I truly believe this might be the great issue that Democrats and Republicans have finally come around in these real trying times. I think between Canada and getting Greenland, like how Trump talked about in his first term, we could have
I wouldn't go that far. That's too many polar bears for the population.
Grand Americana. Okay, think about all the fish that will catch off the coast of Greenland. I believe in a great America that goes from Florida all the way up to the Arctic Circle. Anyways,
we already do that, right?
I know we do. I just thought of Alaska as I said that. let's bring Alaska, connected to whatever. Anyways, what we're really here to talk about, NAFTA. It's going to be high time soon for the NAFTA negotiations. What exactly will be the trade relationship between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico? Truly our two greatest allies that we have made no antagonisms against.
Our best friends, you could say.
Yes.
Like me and Ray, but less arguing and more friendship.
Okay. And less trading. Let's talk about let's talk about U.S. exports to Canada firstly to kind of set the stage on what we're going to be our basically the U.S. and Canada have to consider when going into these NAFTA talks. In 2022, the U.S. exported approximately $308 billion worth of goods to Canada. Some of the key export categories included vehicles, which ranged to about almost $17 billion, refined petroleum, which is about $15.7 billion.
Drill, baby, drill.
And delivery trucks, $14.2 billion.
Wait, okay. Is that like delivery? We're both looking at the same data right now, but this is a general question that maybe our researcher behind camera can answer. Is this delivery trucks as in we're selling them like trucks that deliver things, or the things inside the delivery trucks? Because genuinely, that's a question, We could export to them just a bunch of trucks for delivery. However, I would be really hard for us to believe we sell them $14 billion worth of delivery trucks.
Do you think that if we do you think that when we sell delivery trucks, we pack them up with a bunch of merchandise, like efficiency? You sell the truck and then you also sell a bunch of our other exports over.
I always thought about that. Like, how do they mass send cars over? Like, is it by train or because I see obviously on the highway and stuff, there are 12 cars on the back of it, but mass production, how are we send $17 billion worth of cars is a lot of cars to cross the border.
Do you think that maybe we cross them using the Finger Lakes right over the border, on ones big ships? There's big cargo ships that carries a bunch.
So it's just giant ships with just
cars, just cars and delivery trucks with cars in them.
And more cars. I can get behind this, man. I'm a fan. I don't know. These tariffs sound worse and worse by the day. What's going to happen to the car delivery truck delivery system economy?
These are our exports.
Facts.
The imports, though, is where we have to look at it, where the U.S. imports from Canada. In that same year of 2022, U.S. imports in Canada totaled about $438 billion. So about 130 billion more we import than export today to Canada. Major import categories were, one, crude petroleum. So obviously there's something here about they're sending us the crude petroleum. We're sending back some refined petroleum. About $117 billion of the crude petroleum.
That's a lot of petroleum. I was looking at this and I was like, 17.
They're probably storing them in the $27 billion worth of cars they sent back to us.
Facts. The delivery trucks are full of only crude petroleum, guys. Yeah. Remember.
And then what's interesting, they also sent about $22.4 billion in petroleum gas. So really, there is a big section of this is energy that's being flowed in between one another. Now, Trump has proposed a variety of taxes. Some say 10%, some say 25%, depending on the country, maybe 100%.
Depending on the mood is what I'd say, but
some could say a rather capricious man like him is swayed by the ebbs and flows
of what Elon Musk whispers into his ear at there. Did you see the video of them at Thanksgiving?
No.
It's Thanksgiving, right? You'd expect Elon to be with his 20 bajillion children that exist out in the multiverse.
Oh,
right?
yeah, Kyle spelled Xaeor.
Yes.
01.
But instead, it's just Donald Trump's whole family at Mar-a-Lago, and then sitting with them is none other than Elon Musk. And there's video of them just doing the Trump dance. It was. I totally get it. You're totally allowed to hang out with people who aren't your family. I'm a total believer in found family, for Thanksgiving. But come on, Elon, you're all about producing mass children to create your clone army. So
the idea that Elon found his found family through the Trumps.
It's because Barron was dude, these bro podcasts, that's where you want to be, man. He Barron's funny, and tall. Melania's beautiful, and Trump's his best bro, dude. It's a love story we needed.
I did not see that.
We'll link it in the description. We won't.
Anyways, the reason why Trump was proposing 25% tariffs on all imports of Canada, he was basically aiming to address issues such as illegal immigration and drug trafficking coming from the northern border.
I just want to contextualize this for people like me who don't get it, because thankfully I'm around conservatives, so I understand because for us on the more liberal side of things, we kind of think of it oh yeah, he's just doing that because he wants to be mean. Basically, the theory is if you don't control your border right now, young man, we're gonna tariff you. Just that's a TLDR didn't read of the general theory of Trump saying these things.
Yeah, to my understanding, and I'm not well read on basically the northern border issue, but I think supposedly Indian immigrants are coming into Canada. And some of them are
Can we get a fact check on this behind the camera?
Oh, no.
I just want to know numbers and stuff.
Indians, I think, one of the largest, especially Sikh Indians, are one of the largest migrant groups that come into Canada. They form a very influential community. I think the NDP or one of those parties is led by a Sikh man. So there's a large community, and a lot of them send remittances back to India, and a lot of them try to bring their family over. And I think that's supposedly, I'm not sure about this, some of them are trying to move south into America. Some of them are compelled because of the extraordinarily high housing prices in America.
This could totally be true. Our fact checker is very slow, so apologies for the delay.
No need to get at him.
I'm kidding. We're all friends here.
But yeah, supposedly,
I just why I get wanting to come to the United States, but they've got all their Canada's pretty chill. Oh.
Let's see. Updates from the fact checker. Over 40,000 Indians caught at the Canadian border.
Okay.
In 2022, out of
where? A million?
No, that's 109,000, I'm guessing. There's a misplaced comma.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this source may not be the most accurate thing we have. Fact checkers, they don't know how to put in...
No. Take your time. Take your time, really, because I mean, we'll just be talking.
we can
we can just go back and make a correction to what we said, and then we'll just put an asterisk next to a verbal asterisk.
I've actually never seen a website get the decimal place wrong.
It's Canadian. It's Canadian. It's French.
They do a different math up there.
Okay, but if we take this, there was about 109.5 thousand illegal crossings. If we take this at face value,
we're gonna wait for a fact checker. But okay. So back to the plot.
So regardless, Trump and the Republican Party seem to see that they claim that there are illegal crossings, predominantly from Indian Canadians coming down. Maybe just Indians, not even Indian Canadians. Indians in Canada coming down into mainly through the New York state border, New York State Canada border. And Trump wants Trudeau and the Canadians to clamp down on it. I do believe that after Trump said that, Trudeau did go on and say he would do that. He would be more aggressive at the border.
Yeah, well, this all stemmed from Mr. Trudeau. Info's flowing in, guys, as we speak.
Okay. 109 with the correct comma placement, 535 individuals.
That's truly shocking. They had the facts right. It's just
the intern must have messed up.
Yeah, interns.
So then Indians accounted for nearly 16%. The number rose in 2023 to 189,402 crossings with 30,000 Indian nationals. This year, the figure climbs further, 43,764 Indians, close to 22% of the nearly 200,000 attempted illegal entry from the northern border.
See, this is okay. This might be a hot take. Why focus on the fact that they're Indian? This is my thing with and this goes to a broader thing. We can talk. If your problem's illegal immigration, just talk about illegal immigration. Why do I have to be it's the Indian illegal? I'm not saying it's out of malice or anything. I'm just well, I think 200,000 is a lot more compelling than 40,000 Indians.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just said the Indian thing because I heard it, and the question was they're Indian nationals, so the idea is that they could be flying into Canada with their thing to come,
totally,
not just go to Canada, but with the idea they're doing all this to get in. You know,
how many of these do you think is just a really idiotic person who tried to cross the border?
What are you saying about Indians, pal?
No. No, I'm just saying. I saw this. There's this TikToker who does. I'm a linebacker. He's really bad at football. It's quite funny. And him and his business partners, because he's starting an energy drink brand, tried to cross the border, in Canada. No, through a checkpoint without any of their passports. And does that not count as an illegal entry? Once they get through to the American checkpoint? I guess
it's not an entry because they didn't get past the checkpoint, right?
I researcher. Sorry, we're having fun this episode. We're filming these back to back with the Mexico episode.
It's been a very long night.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
We had one good serious one. This one we could take a half step back.
Yeah, tad step back, but the entertainment value's raising.
Yeah, and then also drug trafficking, because that fentanyl comes through the Niagara like nothing else. Anyways, potential economic consequences of maybe tariffs. One, the great shocker, increased consumer prices.
What? No. I voted for Trump because I thought the prices were going to go down, bro.
Well, they will eventually.
10 years later, guys, we finally had $1 increase in the price of eggs. Decrease, I mean.
No, because hear me out, because you got to put the policies together. They synergize. I don't want this to be a domestic thing, but you eliminate income tax, okay?
Oh, no. Here we go. Here we go. The pipe dream.
You eliminate income tax. Then you put tariffs so that domestic industry comes back. So now we manufacture more in the U.S. So now more people have jobs. More people are getting paid. Those more people are getting paid than not getting paid. So the money you save from not having income tax, not having reduced taxes in general, and the money that you gain from actually having a job now, it offsets the price of the tariffs.
How long do you think it takes to build a fully functioning factory?
If we got the will years? With the right subsidies, really quick.
I thought you guys didn't want government intervention.
Who's this
in the
you
markets.
guys? We're talking about me right now. I'm talking subsidies and getting rid of a bunch of these dumb regulations, okay?
Okay. So we went way too far down there.
Anyways, back to NAFTA, what we're here for. Possible supply chain disruptions. Maybe those ships with all those cars will have some disruptions on them, or those delivery trucks. By the way, fact checker proved these are actual trucks, not like trucks with stuff in them. We're sending this many trucks.
You heard it. We send Canada $14 billion worth of trucks.
Delivery trucks.
Yes, not just like the truck your dad drives during his midlife crisis when the Harley, like, he couldn't fit on it. Just trucks. Oil trucks. Some of them are oil trucks.
They probably carry on the petroleum.
Oh, man, this is all... See,
so cohesive.
You know, me and Ray could be great economists, man. We get how the flow of products work.
We were on the right track with that stuff.
We were. Like, we're really close to, like, perfection here.
Right. There was also some concerns if the tariffs will lead to trade retaliation if Canada has the gall to respond with their own tariffs.
Okay, and I think we should talk about this like somewhat seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, right. If you're Canada, right? Let's say I'm Trudeau, great looking guy, you know, great hair.
Probably
like,
not going to be around soon.
Yeah, he's
going to be alive, just not electorally. Canadian government, I have no plans. I will not be near Canada anytime soon.
Yeah, this man is not getting entry into Canada. Okay, right. Besides Ray's threat on Lord Justin.
Electoral threat only.
Yeah, no, that big electoral threat, which we can talk about later, actually.
That we should talk about. We're going to talk about NAFTA negotiations.
Yeah, no, we should. But okay, right. Yeah. So I'm Canada. I'm whoever the leader of Canada is, and Donald J. put some tariffs on me. Why the hell not would I put some tariffs back to try to like make up, you know, like I guess here's the thing I don't get is what's the logic process behind people not just putting a bunch of tariffs back on us?
Well, because by the same logic that a lot of people use that tariffs harm their own people, tariffing back would also harm their own people.
Well, what if they do like selectivized tariffs?
Well, I mean, most countries in the world already do that. It's the U.S. that historically has chosen not to do that for most industries, where most countries in return have done that already. Most countries already do it.
Yeah, like I think Canada's definitely in a way that Mexico is less. Mexico is but Mexico has a more diversified import economy in terms of like finished products. You know, like. The trade relation with Canada is they give us a bunch of raw materials and then we sell them like what we make. You know, it's like
the fact that they give us crude petroleum, we return them back refined petroleum.
That's that's like the most simple way to think. But like that goes to like timber
and lumber.
Lumber.
Yeah, and I think that's true. And I think one criticism of someone who's a bit more protectionist and pro tariffs is that you generally don't want to tariff raw materials. That's generally not good tariff practice. If you're going to do tariffs, even if you're going to do more generalized tariffs, you tend to stay away from raw materials because they even hurt domestic industry. If you want to develop a strong domestic industry that actually manufactures, if you can't get all the resources within your own country, either due to constraints or inability or just not time, you want to have the cheapest possible lumber to come into your country to build houses or something like that with, or anything, because that helps the manufacturer out, and it provides a sense where we take that raw material and we develop into something that's worth a lot more.
And then we sell it back to you, baby.
And we can sell it back. And
just like the lemonade stand.
So in a sense, that is, I think, a criticism I hold very valid. I personally hold. I think tariff and raw materials is very
I didn't get the Canada
dangerous.
stuff. Like the Mexico stuff, I think there's more of an argument for because they do like have a lot of factories there because of onshoring.
Yeah. It's mainly you want to tariff finished goods.
Yeah.
Because you want to bring the finished good production back to your country or foster in your country. There's no good, for example, in tariffing some sort of raw material that you either lack or don't have the facilities to
get. And like the U.S. does lack the type of oil and petroleum that
also lack
Canada
the maple syrup
produces.
they got.
Well, no, Maine actually has a pretty thriving. Actually, I probably only had like chemically processed maple syrup. I've probably had like real maple syrup like 8 times in my life, like true like.
Yeah, the 100%
Yeah,
pure.
my friend actually has like his uncle would just go out in the woods and harvest maple syrup.
My dad is like a super snob when it comes to syrup. Like he has it imported in because he like loves maple syrup. So like he makes sure like he always gets the 100%
He doesn't like the tariffs.
You know,
what's gonna happen, dude? Think about it. He's already probably spending like an obscene amount of money on syrup.
Well,
what happens when it's like 25% more?
The syrup might go 25% more, but without income tax.
Well, yeah. If you're wealthy enough, you will be really, really good, guys.
No, but objectively, let's say he does get the income, like national debt side. Everyone benefits from it that's getting an income, that makes income.
Fact checker, can we fact check this? But I'm willing to bet money that the income tax system is a progressive tax system. I could totally be wrong.
Income is graduated income tax. Yeah, it is. It is graduated. It's progressive. So, but it's like but it's like this. Let's say a lot of people don't understand this when they say it's graduated income. The first 10,000 are say taxed at this rate. The next, so let's say you make 15,000. The first 10,000 is taxed at a rate of let's say 5%. The next 5,000 is taxed at a rate of 10%. The next 5,000 is taxed at a rate of 25%. It's like that.
And okay, here's the counter to that, right? Okay, no, not the counter, but I'm saying why it's bad. Like
so
why
having people have more money in their pocket.
Wait. First off, I do not believe the notion that we'll be able to offset the loss from income tax with tariffs. You can disagree, but that's my position.
Yeah.
But just talking about removing income tax, right? So, okay.
Which, by the way, I half-heartedly like a joke about because I don't think it's happening. But
thank God. But I'm just saying this is the argument against it, right? Okay, so you're talking about this graduated tax rate, right? And this goes to any like tax deductions too, right?
Right.
So I'm poor. I'm getting taxed like 10 cents for every dollar I make. Let's say like I'm not going to pull out the tax code, right?
Sure.
On like because of the rate I'm on, right?
Sure. Let's say you make like within the first bracket, you get taxed on a certain rate. Actually, the graduated income tax, I think the first X amount you make is untaxed at all. Then it starts going up.
So I'm in the first taxed where it's like 10 cents, right?
Right.
And you're in a rate where you're getting taxed at 60 cents on every dollar.
But not every dollar. That's not how. See, this is like something people get confused on.
No, like, not every dollar, but every dollar over the graduated.
Yeah, within that 60% bracket, that portion is taxed at that rate.
Yes. Within that.
Right.
Every dollar you save by not getting taxed on income tax, you, the wealthy person, in practice is making 60 cents. Me, the poor person, in practice is only making 10 cents. Do you get that?
Sure, depending on that amount of money. That's how
like
it works.
I know. I'm just saying, like when you talk about, putting more money,
but it's not. You're not making more money. You're getting more of the money that you've earned.
Yes. I'm telling you the way a professor who has like much more extreme views than I do, like the verbiage you use.
Right.
But I'm just like that's a fact. It's not like you're making like. Yes, you made the money, right?
Yeah, I already made that money.
As a poor person, I'm not saving as much money. And that's the thing people don't understand, though, right? Like that, what I just explained is not something that's intuitive or...
I understand that, but then I don't get this argument where if a person who's wealthier than me maybe makes 60 cents on the dollar back, depending on like how much money they're making, and then I'm at 10% back for this bracket of money they're making, like,
well, you can disagree, but I like think people should. I think wealthier people should have to pay more in taxes, and you can totally disagree.
I mean, you could, but like the question has been whether or not income tax is a good way to tax people, and whether or not income tax is a one that is conducive to good economy.
That's another question. I'm just saying,
I like to make the argument that the rich also should pay more, but not through the income tax.
Yeah, but anyway, these are our own personal beliefs. I was about to be like, well, your party doesn't believe that, but that's not how you have a productive conversation.
I'm also not the Republican Party.
Despite his best attempts, this sweater, man, very Republican, very conservative. I think we should do an episode where we like categorize like clothing items.
I'm gonna come back. Oh, I actually would fuck. I would really like that. I don't want to make this video explicit, so poor Damien doesn't have to. I would actually mess with that so heavy because there are like definitely some clothes like conservative coded and some that are very not. Yeah. Don't worry. That episode I'll wear a Rage Against the Machine shirt.
Leave your comments down below if you think
ripped jeans
to give us. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like ripped jeans kind of depends on the style of ripped jeans, like how skinny they are. Because like really baggy ripped jeans.
I hate skinny ripped jeans. I hate skinny jeans in general.
Same.
I do not wear skinny jeans.
I don't know. You guys can't see this. His pants are pretty skinny on him right now.
Okay, well, regardless. They are also not skinny, but whatever.
They're proper width. Anyway, back to Canada.
Okay.
I think we should also let's talk about who
Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah, Pierre Poilievre.
Something like that. Poilievre. He's French last name.
Yeah.
Okay, so very likely Trudeau and the Liberal Party is slated for a election loss.
They're in fact so unpopular. The NDP, which are like the more leftist party,
headed by a Sikh, by the way.
Yes, facts. They don't even like Trudeau. They're like, yes, Trudeau is incompetent. We're not going to vote him no confidence because then we know the conservatives are going to win. But they're like actually like
these guys.
They're
are
all like Trudeau is like not a good leader. Like he's terrible. Yeah. The Liberals have been bad in this governance.
His popularity is really low right now. His party's at a low right now. Most likely in the coming elections, I think next year, sometime mid next year, early next year, Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives are slated to win. Pierre has postured himself as kind of like the most right-wing Canadian in mainstream politics is relatively moderate by American standards.
Yeah.
But he tries to posture himself as kind of like this harder, pack-a-punch conservative.
Which is so funny from a Canadian because, like, even just his demeanor, like, I think there are a lot of American politicians where I'm like, wow, they're being mean, like on both sides of the aisle, you know. I think Elizabeth Warren is a very tough, like she really prosecutes a case. Same with like you could even say like Ted Cruz, you know. But right?
Yeah, Pierre Poilievre.
I'm like, dude, like you're kidding me, right? Like I get you're serious about this, but like there's not the same emotional. But maybe that's because I'm not Canadian. And like,
no, I think we've just been like desensitized or oversensitized, maybe.
Oh man, the American political system.
That's what
we want them screaming at each other.
No, I want to see at a court hearing some guy stand up about to fight another guy on the hearing floor. Anyways, Pierre Poilievre is more in line with Trump, and one can make the theory
I don't know.
He's harder on immigration.
Yes,
like Trump.
Okay, yes. That's totally.
He's harder on immigration like Trump. He's, for Canadian standards, more socially conservative. There's a good chance that and he wants to undo a lot of green energy stuff, or not undo, but like loosen up on a lot of the green energy stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of regulations.
Which is why I think that if Poilievre wins, which he most likely will, I'm not going to say he will, but most likely
he will.
I think there'll be a pretty good relationship. But we don't know.
Yeah,
but
for all you know, he could like look at Donald Trump's like hair the wrong way and like that 100% tariffs, man. Like it could be a battle. You don't know. We don't know how they're gonna react to each other. I'm just saying.
So arguably,
debatably,
the Canadians might be economically in a better posturing for either deals or maybe amendments to the NAFTA deal.
Yeah,
when they
and I've actually heard conservative commentators like say like we should actually have a bilateral agreement. They want to say we know Trump hates Mexico. We know that's like a terrible relationship where we're not going anywhere with that.
So kind of like break up the deal into two.
Yeah, we should just make a deal with just us in the United States, you know. Because I would doubt how many like exports are going straight to Canada from Mexico and how many aren't like getting modified in the U.S., you know.
Yeah, and even if they did, I wonder like that what % of imports from one to another might go through like American seas or American like ports or routes.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
Basically pay us some degree of the cut. It'd be very curious to see how actually their two countries relate and how we work in between them. Anyways, now let's look at the other what do you call it? Question mark, and that is Mexico, a topic that we just recently talked about. Obviously, Claudia Sheinbaum is a more leftist leader. There's very clear disagreements, but also Mexico was a very, very vital, historically, trade partner with the U.S. A lot of manufacturing's there, a lot of corporations set up shop there.
Like you talk about the Joe Biden presidency, a big effort of his presidency was changing our foreign policy to focus on like reshoring, right? Bringing factories away from China, and a lot of those factories went to Mexico, It's kind of like we're shooting ourselves in the foot, kind of. I'm not saying fully because we can debate the arguments of tariffs, but it's kind of like we're like, oh yeah, come to Mexico, oh wait, get the hell out of Mexico.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's just a kind of reversal there, man.
I mean, we thought it would be better to, have some cheaper goods, and rather than send it to China, we'll be like, yeah, Mexico's close enough, and then now we're like,
at least they don't want to invade our allies and stuff.
Well, at least they don't want to prevent our chip manufacturing in the U.S.
Facts.
Those. Anyways, it'll be much more interesting. I think there'll be a much more aggressive negotiations between.
Well, she issued a response. Actually.
Yeah, she did. What was it again?
She was basically like, if you do this, be ready to get some tariffs back. Right.
Which, again, would be interesting, being that Mexico is such a large trade partner with the U.S., if it would hurt the Mexican economy, especially at a time when there's massive reforms within the country and there'll be a lot of motion and things going on. The question is, does she want to, on top of that, possibly embark in the beginning of a trade war with the U.S.?
Yeah. And, to talk about Trump for a minute, I was, so shocked when he was like, yeah, Mexico and Canada, Europe, for, besides China. I knew China was going to, but I was just like, whoa. This is not what I was expecting in terms of, a tariff policy. I don't, our closest allies, it just... Europe, I thought there would be more of an argument for...
20% tariffs on champagne and wine.
Yeah, that would actually hurt my lifestyle deeply. The amount of French cheese I ate over Thanksgiving break, obscene, dude, obscene.
I got really confused. I thought you were going to talk about champagne and wine. I'm like, when are you drinking that normally?
No, I'm underage. I've
exactly. That's why I was like,
drank
why
wine.
would you?
Well, at communion I have, but besides that.
But it's more than also that. It's questions of food and agriculture with Mexico. Mexico is a major supplier for fresh produce like avocados, which people are crazy for.
Well, I think it's part of Trump's secret plan. Go woke, go broke. He's now making all the woke people and their avocado toast literally go broke. Think about it. Yep,
I get it now.
Yeah, see, it's all part of the go woke, go broke strategy.
True. We should do a video on whether or not what fruits and vegetables are conservative or liberal coded.
Wow. That's actually what Politine's turning into. It's just us deciding what's which party.
Yeah.
Let's polarize our fruit.
But yeah, I think it'd also be interesting to see how basically energy as well. Mexico is another one of these countries where they import or export a lot of crude oil into the U.S., and then we export back to Mexico a lot of refined oil. So we do actually a lot of oil refinery of both Mexico and Canada, and I think it would be a rather interesting thing to do if we were to start tariffing that. I mean, just looking at it right now, in terms of U.S. exports to Mexico, we exported about $294 billion to Mexico, but then we've imported about $421 billion according to 2022. So again, this is a clear example of the U.S. taking in more than we send back. Top exports of the U.S. to Mexico include refined petroleum, motor vehicle parts.
Not the trucks.
Electrical machinery, plastics, and just machinery in general. So a lot of things to help actually build, develop factories and stuff like factory parts.
Nice.
Why can't we just move those over and build a factory here for selling them the parts? U.S. imports from Mexico, according to 2022, some of the top import categories. So this is from Mexico to the U.S. Include computers, cars, motor vehicle parts. So they also send some motor vehicle parts back.
So it's like we're trading the parts. It's like you give us a part, we'll give you a part.
Right. So they built some of the cars down there. They give us some parts. We send it up to like Detroit. They build the car, and then we send it to Canada.
Yeah. So we're really just ripping off Canada in this. Like NAFTA was actually just us ganging up on Canada.
Well, they can always escape the tariff game and all that stuff. They just become part of the union.
Facts. 51.
Maybe this is Trump's strategy. Have these steep tariffs to make Trudeau like bend and become the 51st state.
I don't see that. Like, I think we forget about
You
Canada.
don't see that?
No. You forget about Canada. They literally had a whole secessionist movement of a bunch of French people who were mad. Imagine Quebec in the United States. Yeah, it'd be worse than Texas, man.
Hey, the Canadians got so fed up with Quebec that they let them have like a referendum election. And the people chose like, actually, this ain't so bad in state.
I would let them leave too, man. I had a like Quebec kid in like my elementary class. Oh, I hated him with like my whole heart, like a burning passion against this one kid. He was so mean.
Funny thing, my dad speaks fluent French. But whenever he goes to like the Quebec part of Canada, he refuses on principle to use it because of just how arrogant they are.
Good man. Well, I would low-key refuse that in France too, to be honest. I remember my poor mother, we were like 12, right? And we go to France, and it, like she doesn't speak a lick of French, you know, but she's just trying to like be nice, you know, take us on a trip,
Indulge in the culture.
Yeah. Every single waiter like would glare at her like so hard with her too. Like I was 12, my brother was 10. Like it's a single mother and her children just like getting glared at by all these like 20-something-year-old French people being mad we didn't. And I totally understand you should try to respect cultures and understand, but you also have to understand Duolingo wasn't a thing back then. Like it wasn't as accessible to like learn something, you know?
And this is why I'm completely in favor of like 200% tariffs on all French exports, because what do we really get of substance from them?
Minus the cheese and the wine.
Sure. Minus that, but I would love to see. And did you see the French Parliament is like in complete disarray because they had a vote of no confidence?
Yeah, I did.
Shortest government of the Fifth Republic. Did you know that?
At least they're not on the 6th.
Well, we'll see. Give it 20 years. The French government and being unstable are, you know, like two pieces. You can't get like magnets, basically.
Yeah, see, this is a problem. Everybody was like, history's over, it's done. And like, no, historical trends continue.
Well, no, as long as humans exist, we'll very much still be in history.
I don't know, bro. What happens when like Elon has us all like having robots feeding us grapes? Peeled grapes. That's what I want. That's the future I want. Peeled grapes.
I'll tell you this: the labor that those robots will do will offset the tariffs.
Facts. Once like Elon has the like oligopoly over every single industry besides the avocados, because woke broke.
Well, there was a thing. I was reading an article that talked about what happens if we were to bring like a lot of manufacturing back home, and he said the truth of it is, if we're gonna, it was an economist. He said the truth of it is, if you really want to have like a real thriving system of manufacturing in the U.S. that benefits like consumers too, objectively, some of these manufacturings will have to be mostly automated. So you bring the manufacturing home, but you're not employing a bunch of people like you promised you will. Like he said, like it's all trade-offs. Some of them will have people on this, but some of them, if you really want to be competitive, will just have to be automated because that's the only way to really be competitive with the rest of the world. It's very interesting.
Are we all going to be janitors? Clean up the robot.
That's what Roombas are for. That's what Roombas are for.
Oh, facts. They already got to that. Oh, we're so screwed, guys. The robot dictatorship's coming.
Hear me out. Robots really take over and it's over us. Let's go to the Ozarks and start a new community there. It's too wet and damp for the robots to actually get there and find us. Also, like...
Or the Everglades.
Or the Everglades.
Oh, but they have like the pythons.
No outlets.
Pythons really
No, but there's that one guy on Instagram who like goes and gets them.
Yeah, but I don't want to be that guy. He's allowed to do that. I don't want to do that.
Well, that's his job.
Oh, we just have like the python hunting squad. Man.
Anyways, that could be our greatest export to the rest of the world.
Python hunters.
Yes. Going back to NAFTA, it's very clear that
Well, it's clear. I'll take it from here, right?
Okay.
You can process. I think it's clear, like, when you look at NAFTA and what, like, we're about to go through in terms of what Donald Trump wants. First off, it depends on if you believe in Trump or not, you know, like, believe in what he says, you know. But if he does everything he says, NAFTA's not going to look like the NAFTA we had under Clinton or the Bushes or even Obama. You know, I suspect that the whole, like, trade deal as we know it will be fundamentally altered in a way where it won't be this free flow of trade. It'll be like, we won't tariff this industry, you won't tariff that industry. All other industries, no hold bars, you know? That's what I think.
I mean, I think that regardless of whether or not Trump won or lost, if it was Harris negotiating NAFTA, there would be more flavors of protectionism. The thing is now there wouldn't be this question of, like, nearly how much, because obviously Trump is willing to go.
Or if, like, fentanyl will be tied to, like, that's what, see, my thing is, like, I don't know if these countries can stop the flow of, like, I don't know if it's, like, them problem, you know? I think it's like a everybody problem.
Well, again, synergy. Once the Mexican reforms come in and they're able to have a working judiciary and they're able to put the drug runners away, and then Canada's able to invest more on border security, and then Trump brings jobs back to middle America, so people stop needing to use fentanyl, the crisis would be over. Again, synergy and policy. Very clear.
It's all going to work, guys.
Yeah. Synergy and policy. That being said, NAFTA is going to be very interesting going into seeing how the countries will interact with it, how the leaders will interact with one another. It'd be very interesting to see, especially whether or not Trump will go through with a lot of his tariff claims, or are they mainly tools to use for negotiation?
He's just threats. A big, strong guy, you know, biggest bully on the playground, about to lay down the law.
Hey, you know what they like in the tradition of Teddy Roosevelt, opposite, you know, speak softly but carry a big stick. Like, speak very loudly.
Don't use your stick.
And just tariff.
Yeah, just tariff. It's like he's a sticker collector, right? And the stickers are like tariffs, and he just slaps it on you. He's like, "Stop talking to me. Stop giving me your fentanyl, man."
I mean, I wonder though, if you were to take like a country, and you were like, "Hey, that's a lot of fentanyl coming through the borders. 100% tariffs by 2026, unless you get these fentanyl rates down."
I don't think they can do it, bro. I don't think they can do it.
I don't know, but it'd be good motivation.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Platoon Podcast. This has been a great episode talking about NAFTA and other things. Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by our researchers, Trex Jones and Michael Scher. This episode was also brought to you by the Ox Institute. For more information to keep up with them, follow them at oxinstitute.org. Thank you.